Hi everyone, and welcome to Covered Bridge on TV8. My name is Kim Fuller. I'm the co-owner of Jaunt Media Collective in West Vail and the editor-in-chief of Covered Bridge magazine.
And I'm Bobby LaRue, the other co-owner and the director of partnerships at Covered Bridge magazine as well. We have the pleasure of sitting down with Corrie Crane, a longtime local and an endurance athlete here in Vail, Colorado. So Corrie, welcome to Covered Bridge on TV8. It's an honor to be sitting down with you. We've known each other for, a better part of longer than a decade now, right?
Yeah.
So we're excited to talk about the article we have coming up on you, but we're also excited just to get to know you a little bit more. Let the readers and the viewers know a little bit more about Corrie Crane, how you made it here, what you've done in the Valley, and kind of your adventure and journey through endurance athletics.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So how long have you lived here in the Valley?
So I moved to Vail, actually. I just picked it on a map in September of 2001. I moved out from Alabama. I just wanted a change of scenery, and here I am 22 years later.
Wow, so picked it on a map. What was that process?
I literally,
like?
I knew I wanted to be in the mountains. I knew I liked Colorado, having, driven out here with family road trips. And I literally just picked Vail on the map. It was a little bit closer to Denver if I needed to fly home to see the fam in Alabama. And here I am 22 years later. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, I think it's always fun to hear everyone's story. Myself, like we go through these ups and downs in the Valley of finding our way, right? So what have you done in this Valley as far as employment and then also like adventure? Because I think that's a big part of it.
Sure. Yeah, so when I first moved out here, it was literally the week after 9/11. So there was a huge hiring freeze, pretty much a ghost town. I clearly didn't do my research. You can't get a job really in September. Nobody's hiring, as we all know. So, I just kind of had some fun for a couple months. But then, I did everything from ticket sales to specialty sports back in the day, worked for Vail Mountain. And for the past 18 years, I've been employed by East West Resorts, so in property management in Beaver Creek.
That is amazing. And, I've met you, I think through yoga originally.
Yes.
But you're out there all the time on the mountains. I mean, I see you whether it's ski season, bike season, running season.
Right.
Some of your favorite sports are, and then what are you currently working on?
Sure. So going back to when we first met in 2010, I should say. I was a big yogi. I loved it. I still practice. But I love to mountain bike. I love to ski. In fact, this season I had one of my biggest history for working a full-time job. I was pretty psyched on close to 70 days on the mountain. And a lot of that's before the lifts open or after the lifts close, just to fluctuate with my work schedule. And then, I just got into I work out at the gym, that kind of thing, and I just kind of got into running. And for me, it's just a way of releasing energy from the day or, exploring on my own 2 feet. And I love going out with my dog, but a couple of really good friends of mine just kind of got me into bigger distance running. So that's where the past 5 years have really come into play. And when I first discovered ultra distance, which is anything over a marathon distance, 26 miles, I was in my late 30s. So I was kind of late to the game, but I was there for it. I was excited for it. And now that I've approached my mid 40s, I'm all like game on. I'm so freaking pumped. I've just got so much planned this summer. With the final hurrah of being the Leadville 100 in August. So that's what I'm currently training for.
It's so exciting and impressive to be following your journey. And so, we do have an article in the summer-fall issue of Covered Bridge, which is our journey issue, featuring Corrie and your journey to the race across the sky, the Leadville 100. Yeah. Tell us about the decision to sign up for the Leadville 100, the process of actually getting into the race, and what your training has been looking like.
Sure. So last year I ran the Leadville Marathon, which is held every June. It's pretty tough. 26 miles takes you up to Mosquito Pass, which is above 13,000 feet. So you can only imagine the little oxygen we have as training. But I had an awesome race, and at the awards, you can enter your bib if you'd like into their so-called lottery. And my name was called, and I got the infamous coin to the Leadville 100.
Oh, let's get a close-up on that coin. So this is what's pulled if you get picked or to put your name in?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So you
just
literally, you qualify and then you can sign up through your bib number.
Okay.
And I, got the lottery coin. And
Yeah.
so you literally right then and there, you have to make a decision. Are you running it this year? Or are you running it next year? And for me, I was running the Trans-Selkirks last August, which is a 6-day, 120-mile race through the mountains of British Columbia. So I knew I couldn't race in August. So essentially, I've been signed up for almost a year. And what my training looks like is I started with my coach in January. And I like having a coach because it holds me accountable. He gives me my workouts over the weekend, and then I can tune them in to how my work schedule looks like, or just life in general, right? But I'm held accountable. I know what I need to do. I might fluctuate Tuesday for Wednesday or vice versa. But I told him, I said, I will do the work. I'm very disciplined. I'm very focused. I want this. And so it's been fun working the past 5 months, and I'm just slowly building mileage. And this season during the winter, I did a lot of cross training, right? So I didn't want to just run because I knew I would get burned out. So essentially, I've been skiing quite a bit, like I said before, after hours, ski touring. I fat biked quite a bit on the trails locally. I got into Nordic skiing, and I skated quite a bit, for the endurance and swimming. So I feel like I've covered all angles, but now that we're getting into drier trails, I'm really starting to amp up the mileage. So this past weekend, I was in Leadville training because that's the best thing you can do for your lungs and your legs is get up to 11,000 feet. The weekend before, I went to the Grand Canyon. I ran down to the river and back. So for me, it's all about adventure and just learning to love it. I'm doing this because I truly love it. I'm not, I have to. I want it. Like, I'm focused. So I've really dedicated to it, and a lot of it's part of my new lifestyle, too, these past 2 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I know Kim has a couple questions, but quickly,
Sure.
you just mentioned something as an athlete that I think some of us, we get sucked into one sport. We train so hard. How important has the cross training been for overall physical and then
Sure.
also injury prevention?
Right. Well, that's a good point. So overall cross training, you work all different sets of muscles. So women, as we get older, our fast twitch muscles do start to deteriorate. So for me, it's important to work all aspects of my mental training as well as my, physical physique. So swimming's awesome cardio, endurance, getting up, to ski down, that's phenomenal lung power. So I've really been diving into different to, A, just mentally not get burned out with just running, but B, also to enjoy all the sports that I essentially moved to Colorado for. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun to follow along on your training and to go along sometimes too when we're lucky enough.
We've had some good weekends training together.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Corrie, you've been very vocal in the last, I guess it would be about 2 years, about a journey of sobriety. And what led to that choice, and how has that impacted what you're doing now?
Sure. Well, so it was actually 2 years just this past week on May 9th.
That's amazing.
And just how that stemmed, I think, when I moved here in my early 20s, it's go time. It's fun. It's ski town lifestyle. It's party. Alcohol's everywhere. It's, socially accepted in our society and our culture here. And when I hit 40, I was at an all-time high, just having the best time of my life. But, those highs definitely bring your lows too. So being my husband and I went to Mexico 2 years ago to visit some friends that lived down there. And, I definitely kept it chill that week. I just wasn't into it like normal beach trips usually are. And I remember it was Mother's Day. It was May 9th, and we went to the airport. And I said, should I spend these last pesos and get another Corona? And I thought to myself, I don't need it. I don't need this. So I got home the next day, and I was really focused on getting back to work. Your routine. You're not at the beach anymore. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to drink this week. I just want to be healthy, right? Well, my last sip of alcohol was May 8th, 2021. So somehow I quit cold turkey. It was absolutely mind-blowing, especially those that know my past. But I've got nothing but awesome things to say about sobriety. And for me, it's been a life-changing decision, the best adult decision I've ever made. I'm still having a great time. I'm still hanging out with my friends, you know. I'm now DD, you know. And it's just really been inspiring and empowering for especially my lifestyle of, you know, my crazy work schedule and then adding on top of it my training. And just knowing that I'm walking every day with a clear lens and I feel good. And if I don't sleep well, then it's something perhaps I ate that day, but there's never this blame of, you know, perhaps a drink the night before. So I really do feel that, you know, the non-alcoholic movement is definitely taking a trend in our society, and I'm super proud and honored to be a part of it. And I do encourage those that might have a little issue or some sober curious just to look into it. You know, just a 30-day detox, 42-day detox. There's so much more to it. I mean, there's your physical, there's your mental, there's your spiritual. I mean, my finances, your skin, your sleep. I mean, nobody said, you know, gosh, my habitual drinking habits have really, you know, empowered my life, right? So I feel that if there is a little bit of an issue, you know, in the gray area drinking, look into it. And, you know, I'm happy to reach, you know, speak with you or whatnot. There's awesome programs in town. I know there's, you know, wonderful podcasts to listen to, and just a little bit of encouragement. If you go to reach for that beer, just give it 15 minutes. Give it 15 minutes. Instead, lace up your shoes, go for a walk, and just think, okay, am I going to regret this, or am I going to feel better about my decision, you know?
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it's just been
really helpful,
yeah,
I think,
thank
for a
you.
lot of people, you know?
Yeah, and you know, for me, I know that I'm on the right path, and I'm super excited about it. You can probably just tell. Like, I just want to shout it from the mountaintops. I just, yeah, my life has just improved, and I'm very grateful for it. So,
super inspiring on so many levels, Corrie.
Thanks.
Yeah. In the closing of the article on Corrie is a quote from her that I'd love to read here. And I think it really relates to everything we've been chatting about today. Anyone who's willing to step out of their comfort zone, that's where growth really happens. I want to encourage people to live an awesome, healthy life and enjoy the beautiful mountains we live in. And if you're struggling, reach out to a friend. There's always hope around the next corner. And we really hope that on your journey of training this summer and the actual race, 100 miles, so the Leadville 100 in August, that those times it does get challenging, you know that hope is around that next corner for you.
Yeah, and just know that growth comes from possibility, it comes from opportunity, but you have to want it, and it takes a lot of discipline. I know I committed to this, and so I wake up every day with gratitude, with discipline, and just excitement, you know. And yes, there's obviously some lows, but the highs definitely outnumber the lows. And I'm just eager for my summer of racing and my friendships, and I've got some fun concerts on the books. So, you know, life doesn't slow down just because alcohol's not involved. I've got to remind listeners about that. It definitely is an eye-opening experience. And so, but thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for everything you do in this community.
Well, thank you.
We'll be following your bib number.
Yes.
We might even be out there. We've got a couple of friends that are running, so it's really fun to go out and support. So great luck with training this summer, Corrie. Thank you for joining us and for participating in the article as well. Corrie Crane here, and we will all be watching her in anticipation of an amazing race, Leadville 100 this August. Thank you all for watching Covered Bridge on TV8. We'll see you next time.
Have a good day.